Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Muttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Granraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter number 28, titled as Kapiladev's instructions to Mata Devahuti on practice of devotional service. In this chapter, Kapiladev in detail is explaining to Mata Devahuti what are the best practices for devotional service. So in the previous shloka, Kapiladev explained to Mata Devahuti that if one really wants to progress in path of bhakti, then there are certain lifestyle changes required. And what are the lifestyle changes? So in the second shloka of this chapter, Kapiladev says that one should execute his prescribed duties to the best of his ability and avoid performing duties which are not allotted to him. One should be satisfied as much gain as he achieves by the grace of Lord, and one should worship the lotus feet of spiritual master. So this is the first requirement, is that do one's prescribed duties to the best of his ability, and one should be satisfied with as much as one gains and not to be too much greedy. And third one, he said, is one should worship or follow the instructions of spiritual master. Then the Kapila Dev says to Mata Devahuti, next part is that while doing the devotional service, one should not expect any material gains out of it. The next part is one should control one's diet. Eat just basic minimums to maintain body and soul together. And the next part is Kapil Dev is saying one should live in a secluded place so that he can achieve the highest perfection of life. Now, secluded place means that the holy place where we can worship Krishna, when we can remember Krishna. So that is very important part of this whole process of bhakti. Then the Kapila Dev says that one should have certain lifestyle habits. First one is ahimsa, non-violence, then truthfulness, satyam, then asteyam, not stealing, yavat artha, accumulating or having only that much which is required to survive and not much more. Parigraha, so not possessing too much. Then brahmacharyam, celibacy. Tapa, austerities. Shaucham, cleanliness. Swadhyaya, study of Vedas like Vedic literature like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And Purusha Archanam, deity worship. These are some of the things required for progressing in bhakti, in devotional life. Now, in this, Kapila Dev is instructing more things about devotional life. So, what are the changes? What are the lifestyle modifications required? So, he says here in fifth shloka, Maunam sadasana jaya, Maunam sadasana jaya, Sthiryam prana jaya shane, Pratyaharaschendriyananam, Vishayan manasardi, Maunam sadasana jaya, Sthiryam prana jaya shane. So Maunam means silence. Maunam sad asana. Asana is postures. One has to practice various yoga postures. Jaya sthiryam prana jaya. So here certain process of yoga are mentioned. So one should observe the silence, then acquire steadiness by practicing different types of yoga posture. Hatha yoga has different postures, asanas. So one can practice asana, silence, which means that maunam, control the breathing of the air, so pranayam, withdraw the senses from the sense object, pratyahara, and then concentrate the mind, dhyana, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. These are some of the limbs of Ashtanga Yoga which are mentioned by Kapiladev here to Mata Devuti, that one should follow these regulative principles so that one can progress in the bhakti. So, some sort of a discipline is required. If one is not disciplined, then one will not be able to progress in path of bhakti. So, Prabhupada ji is explaining this purport. The yogic practices in general and Hatha Yoga in particular are not ends in themselves, they are means to end of attaining steadiness. So, Hatha Yoga is the means to achieve Krishna consciousness. Hatha Yoga is not the aim of our life. Our aim of life is to achieve Krishna Prema, remember Krishna. But Hatha Yoga to achieve that, so one can do that. One must be able to sit properly. Asana, one of the asana is the sitting straight posture. And then, Prabhupada is saying, then the mind and attention will become steady enough for practicing yoga. So when we are chanting, one should sit straight actually. Prabhupada many times said in his classes, sit straight. So once posture is steady and sit straight, then one is able to focus the mind and attention. Gradually, one must control the circulation of vital air, pranayama. And with such control, he will be able to withdraw the senses from the sense objects. So, pranayama is the breathing exercise. Our Atma, the soul, is covered by different types of air, which is explained in Bhagavad Gita in the 6th chapter. I think there are 5 different types of air which are surrounding the Atma. When one does the pranayam, then Atma is released from all these different types of airs and Atma becomes free. So here Prabhupada is saying that one must control the circulation of vital air, and with control, such control he will be able to withdraw the senses from sense objects. So one is able to do pranayam, yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, then pratyahara. Pratyahara is withdrawing the senses from the sense objects. Unnecessary engagement of the senses has to be withdrawn. Like some senses are just like they were very chanchala. So they want to get attracted with so many material things. But one should be very careful and engage the senses only when required. Otherwise withdraw them. Like the turtle, the example is given in the Bhagavad Gita in the 2nd chapter, that as the turtle withdraws the limb within the shell when not required, similarly one should withdraw the senses when they are not in use for service of Krishna. So most important aspect of sense control is controlling the sexual life, that is brahmacharya, celibacy. That is, by practicing the different sitting postures and controlling the vital air, one can control and restrain the senses from unrestricted sense enjoyment. So, sitting postures, doing meditation, doing japa, by pranayam, pratyahara, one is able to control the senses, right? So, here, Srila Prabhupada ji is explaining to us about the importance of discipline. So one of the discipline is silence, not to talk unnecessarily. People are usually interested in prajalpa. So one has to be very careful not to talk prajalpa. Then achieving steadiness. Then third one Prabhupada says is good postures, which is asana, maintaining the steadiness. Next part is breathing control, pranayam. Then pratyahara, withdrawing the senses from the sense object. Then focusing the mind, dhyana. All these are important parts of Bhakti Yoga. So one is able, when one follows that, then one is able to progress on the path of bhakti, right? So we should remember all these important principles and then progress on the path of bhakti. So with that, we'll pause here. We continue study of Bhagavatam tomorrow. Randra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.